IVM.
Hello and welcome to Football Twaddle. My name is Saru. This is a special recording on our Republic Day. And so, most of my panelists are on holiday, other than our dear friend Manav. What's up, Manav?
Yeah, hi, good evening, Saru. Yeah, hello everyone.
So, Manav, why are you not on a holiday?
No, I was. I ended my holiday early,
All right. So,
unlike other people.
all right. Let's talk about someone else's job ending early. The news which is dominating over the last 2 days is my man, Frank Lampard, the most expected departure of the season. It was
Yeah,
finally done. Why?
yes.
Why do you think it was done now?
No, I just think they are just hoping that the first half of this year has been a topsy-turvy sort of thing, and maybe even the second half will only increase from here. So maybe they're expecting some teams who are above Chelsea right now, they will slip up and they need to be in such a at such a point that they can capitalize on that opportunity, and that new manager sort of thing we have always seen in the last 2-3 seasons, that it just pays off. Whenever a new manager comes in, teams try and get and win like 4 or 5 games, and that's probably the need of the hour for Chelsea
Dude,
right
I
now.
don't think there is exactly something called new manager bounce. It is something which we believe in. But if you actually take the number of new managers of clubs and measure it against victories, it's only 50-50. So, but poor Super Frank, man, he went into.
No. So I don't think he's super anymore.
How dare you? You're a guest on the podcast still. Poor guy. I mean, I know he's got the job and everything, but dude, some of the things he's done are his own mistakes. Like he knew he had no experience. Why did he have to take all his buddies and become the management team? One experienced hand as like assistant manager. I think that was the biggest fault in this whole reign. And
Absolutely, yes.
yeah, so I mean, I read Jody Morris's. I follow him on Instagram. I've been following Jody for a long time on Instagram. So he
Okay.
obviously wrote a very heartfelt thing, and I just wanted to reply, "It's because of you, Jody, that Frank's gone." But I think a lot of conversation also is happening of good things and bad things about Frank and where it went wrong, right? But we knew this is Chelsea, and if things just go a little wrong after they've spent so much money, it is going to go
Yeah.
like that. And but did you see Jamie Carragher's YouTube thingy where he said that I want to be Klopp in front of the cop now, but I don't want to put in the 7 years at Mainz, right? Did you see that whole video?
No, I actually didn't.
So Jamie Carragher's point is that Lampard and Terry basically want to be Jose Mourinho at Chelsea, right?
Okay.
Gerrard and Carragher want to be Klopp at Anfield, right? So
Okay.
and probably Henry wants to be like Wenger in at Highbury or whatever, right? But he's like
Yeah.
most of us are not willing to put in the work. Like for Klopp to be Liverpool manager now, he put in 7 years at Mainz, 7 years at Dortmund. So he's been
Right.
managing for like so long with different clubs and then coming up. He's like, you're
Right.
not willing to put in that much work, and that is why I choose to remain a pundit because I am not interested in it. Is there some truth in that?
No, I'm not really sure. I mean, you have to blame Abramovich also for that matter. Like there was no urgency for him to bring Lampard to Chelsea, right? He had one decent season at Derby,
There was, there was,
reached the playoff.
the urgency was basically that you had a transfer ban, and you
Yeah,
you basically needed. In fact, I was actually reading today that Lampard signed a 3-year contract. It was actually 2 years with an extension with a 1-year extension in Chelsea's hands, right? So
okay.
if Lampard had not been fired and they
Yeah,
choose not to extend his contract, this season would have been his last at Chelsea. So it was
yeah,
not a
okay.
3-year contract. So it seems
Okay.
like Lampard was always a stopgap arrangement. And from like
Yeah,
Lampard's perspective, obviously, how can he say no to like managing Chelsea?
yeah, but stopgap arrangement for whom? I mean, okay, now we know that Tuchel is coming, but when Lampard came in, Tuchel still had a job at PSG.
Yes.
So there was no. So probably everyone thought that Chelsea want Allegri, but apparently Allegri has not been contacted at all. So stopgap for whom is a big question mark, and it
One,
doesn't make sense.
one of the Germans. so,
Okay.
so the stopgap is one of the Germans, and I think everyone basically wants Nagelsmann, obviously. But my
Yeah.
gut feel is that he will go to Bayern. Bayern actually tried very hard to get him before they got Niko Kovac,
Yeah.
and then they wanted Ralf Ragnick. But Ralf Ragnick
Yeah.
says like, कि मुझे तो if you make me the coach, that's only using me 50%. You need to make me
Yeah.
the entire like whole and soul of this. That's what he is for Red Bull. And there's obviously
Yeah.
Thomas Tuchel. So I think Lampard was a stopgap for one of the Germans. The good thing,
Yeah, but if what you're saying makes sense, I mean, if you just try to connect the dots, if Nagelsmann is going to Bayern, what happens to Hansi Flick? Like he had a tremendous year last season.
the truth of
Uh,
the world, Manav, is that everyone gets fired.
yeah, but and of course, as things the way we are as things are sort of suggesting, even Germany would need a manager in 6 months' time.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like I am 100% sure Yogi Love is already like in a very sticky wicket, right? And Nagelsmann is
Yeah,
too young to obviously manage a national
coach
team.
Germany. So maybe Hansi Flick moves to Germany. Yeah, that kind of makes sense.
Yeah,
But yeah, I mean, let's just see how does Tuchel does
they
at
wanted. So
Chelsea.
I was actually looking at YouTube and journalist Marcotti makes Gabriel Marcotti makes a point like why now, right? And this was
Yeah,
speculation, but I totally buy into his speculation completely. Is that Thomas Tuchel? I think they started already negotiating with Thomas Tuchel or talking to him, Chelsea,
okay.
and Frank Lampard basically then sought assurances from the Chelsea board कि you kind of like extend my 1 year or
Yeah,
like do something. I don't want these rumors hanging over my head. And how
yeah,
does Frank Lampard know that Thomas Tuchel and Chelsea have been talking? Because Tuchel is managed by Pini Zahavi, and Pini
okay.
Zahavi and his uncle Harry Redknapp have a very deep friendship, right?
Oh, okay.
So it kind of makes sense. I mean, why did they fire him now, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Get the money, fire him in December. Like what you
yeah.
and I, as much as people like to say, I don't think any club makes a decision based on one result, right? Probably they,
No, absolutely not.
yeah. If that was the case, then imagine Ole was always going to be fired on some Saturday, and then he
Yeah,
gets
yeah.
up. I don't know what
Yes,
speech
yes.
he gives, but yeah,
Yeah, but talking about the performances under Frank Lampard, particularly this season, since you follow Chelsea, I think one marquee sort of performance was against Leeds. But apart from that, which performances do you think that the real Chelsea or Lampard's Chelsea turned up?
wait,
Or you think throughout the season they never clicked?
they didn't. They played all right. Like they played 45 minutes well against West Brom. The biggest thing was they did not. Who did they beat in the top six, top eight this night? I think
Oh, that even United haven't.
what? What are you going on
United have
about?
not beaten a top six side.
अच्छा टॉप एट कुछ किसी को तो मारा
Yeah,
होगा.
I don't even remember who's on seventh or eighth, but yeah, United have got draws against. So the problem with United is, apart from Liverpool, all the top teams which they have played, all games have been at home this season, and all have been like nil-nil draws. And of course, there was a 1-6 against Tottenham.
Yeah.
So in the second half of the season, United are playing Chelsea, they're playing Spurs, they're playing Arsenal, and they're playing City away from home.
But it doesn't matter. That suits them way more. But
Yeah, and
if you want
yeah,
to talk about this season, I think the one result was against Sevilla, 4-0, which Chelsea beat them. That was
Giroud.
yeah.
Yeah,
That was a good result. But dude,
okay.
it's not like it's been good or bad. It's like okay, it's going on, but obviously he hasn't gotten. I don't think there was any. It didn't seem like they were doing anything, which is also fine,
Okay.
right?
And who do Chelsea face in the Champions League next round?
Atletico Madrid.
Oh,
And
that would be interesting.
I watch every game of Atletico. They are a team of bastards.
That they always have been. I
No,
mean, ever since Simeone.
this year they're talented bastards. So I don't know if you know
Okay.
about this, but last year Simeone's job was under trouble
Yeah.
because Atletico for 2 years have been spending so much money on Lemar, Joao Felix, and everyone,
Yeah.
and they
Yeah.
were just not winning properly, right?
Yeah.
So there was enough pressure on them. But this year they got in Suarez and
Yeah.
things clicked. They are so tough to beat, man. Against Valencia
Okay.
over the weekend, they beat them 3-1 after going down 1-0. But
Okay.
Felix, Suarez, everyone. I think Chelsea is going to go out. I don't know actually because Thomas Tuchel knows English, so he can probably speak. he can probably
But
communicate faster.
but more importantly, he knows German, so maybe he can get Havertz and Werner to click because that
Yeah,
is more important.
yeah, it is. It is, right?
And of course, I think Hakim Ziyech. I mean, he has shown glimpses, but I think he can be a really fine, consistent player. I just hope we get to see more of him in the Premier
Yes.
League without
Look,
injuries.
in terms of players, you have Werner, Pulisic, Kai,
Yeah,
Hakim Ziyech, and then you have
yeah,
N'Golo Kante. There is a squad there, right?
yeah, exactly. And Saruya, of course, since you mentioned this also that because of the 250 odd million which Frank had spent during the summer, I think if you sort of compare to Ole, I mean, suppose Jadon Sancho had come in, Ole would have spent another 120 million than what he did. And United had those results which they had in the beginning of the season. And at that time, I think, and I remember United playing Everton away, and it was like, "Agar ye game
Uh,
gaya, to fir then nothing will come." I think had Ole also spent that much, maybe he also might have been fired. I
no,
mean,
I don't think United makes those decisions. If you look at Ed Woodward, always fires managers when he is convinced the top four hoga nahi, right? So
okay, yeah,
they were at like what 10 points in 7 games, United, if I'm not
yeah,
wrong,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
Yeah, that is just too early for him to fire. And he was the most vocal, Ed Woodward, about how the pandemic is affecting the club and their finances. So
yeah,
he wouldn't have fired Ole. And I
yeah,
think getting Cavani, I don't know whose decision it was at
yeah.
United, but man, I love that guy. So I'm so totally biased, but I think Marshall should be less like his contract should be stopped immediately
Yeah, yeah.
and get
I'm
Cavani
totally
to
into.
play for.
I think we should just call up PSG. Say we have this French guy. He can be your backup to Neymar if he's planning to leave, or he can be on the
What
bench for you, and
name?
we'll pay you 20 million. Just take him. I mean,
Neymar will leave
Marsh.
PSG.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Maybe he wants to go to Barcelona back or something. And if he leaves, you're a perfect replacement of French guy playing on the left wing. Even Neymar doesn't track back. Even Marshall doesn't track back. I think they're like. I'm not saying he's
Excuse
as good
me.
as Neymar.
I think you should measure your words. You can't compare Martial and Neymar here.
No, I'm not comparing, but I'm just saying if you have to look beyond Neymar, I think Marshall will be a perfect fit at PSG.
All right. How do you think Thomas Tuchel is going to do coming back to Chelsea?
I
The one thing I love is they gave him an 18-month contract. So finally, Chelsea like they buy. This is what it is.
yes. No, I mean, let's see. Thomas Tuchel, I think PSG had a really sort of a bad season after making it to the finals last year of Champions League. You would expect them to do like really well this season also. And now we see that, I mean, even in the group stages of Champions League, right, they were just fortunate enough to go through. United fucked up at the right time for them. They also clicked at the right time and they just managed to get past the group stage. One of the reasons why he got the sack also. But I'm really not sure. I think first 6 months, new league, maybe I think he'll do well in the first 4 or 5 games. But after that, I really do think Chelsea will finish above. Like, as things stand, I don't think they're going to finish in the Europa positions also.
Who Chelsea? What is the
Yeah.
Europa position? Fifth to
I
seventh?
mean, I think they won't finish in the top six, maybe seventh or something.
They're not that far
Doesn't
off.
look like.
They're not that far off in the
I
table.
know they're not that far off, but I'm saying that even if he sort of replicates what Lampard did in the first 19-20 games, I don't think it will be enough because teams are only going to improve from here.
Okay. Oh, last question on this. Do you think Roman Abramovich was very harsh in sacking Frank Lampard?
No, not at all. I mean, ठीक है, मतलब you can do that same thing again. I mean, Mourinho will say मुझे Alderweireld दिया होता तो रिजल्ट अलग होते. Lampard can say मुझे Declan Rice दिया होता तो रिजल्ट अलग होते. But again, 250 million in a single window, and it's not that it was his first season. He knew the club, he knew the players. I mean, of course, a lot of players had come in, but still, I don't think he did justice to the money spent in the window.
All
So I think he deserved the sack.
All right, the Thomas Tuchel era begins at Chelsea Football Club. Okay, before we take a break, FA Cup. Dude, we have to talk about this. Is your club Manchester United going for this treble? What is going on? They're winning every game.
Uh,
Oh my God. I can't believe I have to eat my words at the end of the season about this stupid PE teacher. The most undeserved
no, no,
Premier
no.
League winning manager ever. And I have to praise him for like some 4 months.
No. I think we're far off from that. As Ole also said, it's just 1920 game. It's a long season, so nothing is there written on the wall. I think talking about the treble, I'll say that Europa is the toughest to win, if you have to ask me, because there are some really good teams in there, and Thursday nights again can be a hectic sort of routine. So that is the toughest. FA Cup, but which teams are left in now the FA Cup? I think one Spurs is there.
Spurs City,
Arsenal are out, so
Southampton.
Southampton is there. So yeah, I think these are the major teams. So I think it will be again just like the Carabao semis only. Spurs, City, United, and probably another team will be there in the semis, and we'll see where it goes from there.
Why are
But
United fans so pessimistic these days? Like, whatever happened
no,
to the
so
gung ho United fans?
no. So the thing is that Solskjaer's record in knockout games has not been good. I mean, especially the semi-finals, like 4 semi-finals, and especially the loss in Carabao Cup against City this like last month. That is like really deflated. So I am not even considering FA Cup. I'm like, ठीक है, मतलब, see, the thing is, United are on top of the league right now. There's a decent lead. City are your main rivals as we speak. So all the focus should be on winning the league, because if you win the league, then it doesn't matter whether you won 2 trophies, whether you reach quarter final of a competition or whatever.
You
So
won the
focus
league.
should be that.
Man, and you know who's going to win you the league? As Gary Neville said, and I agree, it is Paul Pogba. It has taken him
Yeah.
5.5 years to realize that if someone opposition is running with the ball, please run behind them and try and get the ball. Right? It's taken him like 5.5 years to learn these basic things that is expected from him. It's taken
Yeah.
sacking of a manager, almost sacking of the another manager, sitting on the bench
Yes.
for like 4 years, and then
Yeah.
finally realized that why is this guy so slow?
Saru, I have a theory. I think that
On one-
I think that entire Jorge Mendes thing, no, I think it was planted by Ole. Ole को समझ में आ गया था पॉगबा परफॉर्म तो कर नहीं रहा है, सो ये भी करके देख लेते हैं, शायद उसके कुछ अंदर की कुछ जाग जाए.
But क्या किया? I didn't understand.
No. So I think Ole called up Mendes and said, "Do this interview and say that Pogba is leaving."
You mean Mino Raiola, not Jorge?
Yeah. So sorry. I meant his agent. Yeah, sorry, Raiola. So I think Ole called up Raiola and said कि भैया ऐसा कुछ इंटरव्यू करो, ये वैसे भी नहीं चल रहा है, अभी शायद कुछ अलग हो जाए, and that fucking worldie against West Ham, which was a throw-in, has changed everything. Oh man,
Dude,
crazy.
what was that goal?
Oh man, I mean Dean Henderson just cleared his lines. सबको दिख रहा है यार, it's gone beyond the line, but of course the linesman is too busy looking at offside, and you don't have cameras there to do a VAR. It's not under the purview of VAR also, I think. Oh man, we're really funny, and that's how things change for United. I mean, that first half against West Ham, we were so poor. Like the game could have been 4-0, 5-0 West Ham or something.
There were some 3-4 games where, like against Southampton, which was a freak victory as well.
Yeah. You see, Southampton was still a great free kick by Ward-Prowse, a corner goal, but West Ham were like totally all over United, like, and we play them next in the FA Cup also, so will be an interesting match.
Oh God, I am Team Moyes all the time. So
yeah, at Old Trafford.
Oh, dude, that was his home ground. He was going to kill it. All right, we should take a break on Football Twaddle, and after the break, we'll talk about who are the best players of last week and our games to look forward to in the coming week. Stay tuned to Football Twaddle.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another great, awesome, amazing week on the IVM Podcast Network. If you're not following us on social media, please do. We're IVM Podcast on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Would like to thank the sponsor on the network this week, Storytel and The Whole Truth Foods. We have a new show out this week, Candid Kanan with Siddharth Kanan. Sid Gay is a well-known RJ. He has an incredible show with some of the most amazing Bollywood celebrities. As part of the first week's episode, we're releasing 5 episodes at one time, so you can get your fill of Sid. You can hear him talk to Varun Dhawan, Anil Kapoor, Anurag Kashyap, Bhumi Pednekar, and a whole lot more. This week on the Edges and Sledges podcast with Varun, DJ and Ashwin, hear them talk about the historic victory that India achieved at Gaba. Maruk Inayat had an amazing talk with Gulpanav. They spoke about the farmer protests and why Bollywood celebs are acting the way that they are. And finally, Shunya 1 is back this week. Shiladitya and me talked to Anirudh Singla from Pepper Content. We have a great lineup of guests coming up in the coming weeks, including Deepak Abid, the co-founder of India Gold. Definitely check that out. And with that, let me get you back to your show.
Welcome back to Football Twaddle. Manav, what's up?
Yes, hi Saru. Yeah,
okay, so before we get to the player of the week, let us look at the FA Cup fixtures for the next round. How many rounds are there in FA Cup, man? Is this? I don't understand. What is fifth round?
Yeah, I mean we've had just 2 of them, and I think abhi kuch 3 stages or baki hai till we reach the final.
5, 6, 7, 8. Fifth round is quarterfinals. 8 teams.
Really?
No,
only 8 teams.
Fifth round
has to be 16.
Sorry, 16. Fifth round is round of 16. Right?
Yeah.
So there's a game called Burnley versus TBD. What the hell? Who is this TBD guy?
I don't know. I haven't seen really.
I was like, I've been watching football for so long. Kaun hai ye? Achha. Anyway, so there is Everton versus Tottenham.
So actually, Burnley are playing the winner of Bournemouth or Crawley. So that's not yet decided.
Acha. So I think Bournemouth.
That match is, I think, tonight. Yeah, Bournemouth versus Crawley Town.
Yeah, I think Bournemouth is going to win. But whatever, who cares?
Yeah.
So we have Wolves versus Southampton, which is going to be good. Everton, Tottenham, Leicester, Brighton, Man United, West Ham. Dude, so there was an episode which we did like 2-3 weeks ago called The Magic of FA Cup, right? When this Mourinho went to Marine and all of that. So and I saw all those games. So much fun that was. Now all
people having wine in their own backyard and watching the game.
It was crazy. But what is this? These all Premier League teams, most of them. So magic is done. Over. Magic.
Yeah. This is magic till 5th round. We have had enough of Adele songs from the dressing room. I mean, how many times do you want to listen to that?
Okay, so Manav, let's get to this. The player of the week. Who has been your player of the week for the entirety of last week across leagues, competitions, anything?
Yeah, so I think it was such a good match. The United versus Liverpool one, the FA Cup match. So I think it has to be from there. I'll give it to Rashford, although I'm not a big Rashford fan as other United fans. But I think just for that assist which he gave to Greenwood, I think I'll give it to Rashford.
Oh, I didn't think that was that great an assist. I thought that the positioning of those defenders was so stupid.
Yeah, but did you hear Ole's presser after the match on that assist?
What did he say?
So he said that this is a sort of an advantage which you have since there are no crowds. Because Rashford had no clue where Greenwood was. But everyone from the bench, since Rashford was there with the ball, everyone from the bench screamed, switch. And that's when he decided to give that ball to Greenwood and it ended up in the back of the net.
Yeah, but with such things, like there's the opposition bench also. When they would have heard switch, no. It's not like some code word switch.
Yeah, but it's difficult to tell Fabinho or Milner who were in the center of the field because Rashford was like just there and he had the ball. So, yeah, different perspective. I mean, I never thought of it this way that not having can be an also. But yeah, I think Rashford will be my player of the week, of the last week.
Okay. Who should I choose as a player of the week? Should I go for Yerry Mina?
But how was your favorite club doing? How was their performance? Wycombe Wanderers.
Oh, I saw the match yesterday. They had some zillion shots on. Like there was a joke going on. There's a Twitter handle I follow called XG Philosophy. So there was a joke there saying that Wycombe XG is 1 and Tottenham is like 492,000. But dude, I mean,
Gareth Bale scored.
He did, but they could not score second half. They were just trying, hit the post twice, everything. Finally, like Kane, Son, Ndombele, Højbjerg.
Oh, okay.
They came, and in the last, like from the 84th minute to 89th minute, they just like scored 3 goals.
Oh, okay.
And they just so the 4-1 scoreline still seems low. And Ndombele, you're talking about Rashford's pass, dude. Ndombele's pass to like Harry Kane. That guy is that guy is so talented. He was my player of the week last week, and if I get carried away, I'll put him as player of the week for every week. But
Yeah.
this year,
Proper warrior.
he is not, dude. He just became that.
I'm saying right now. I'm not saying he always was.
Yeah, so I would choose either between Richarlison, right?
Okay.
Richarlison or J. Rodriguez. I think between one of these two. And Richarlison, because that guy, he was supposed to be the next big superstar, and now he only features in Neymar's videos because he calls Neymar while Neymar is live streaming. so that's the only time he's featured and stuff. But he's actually doing very well for Everton. And
especially under Ancelotti.
And they won, right? Everton won. But forget Richarlison. I'll go for J. Rodriguez. Burnley beat Fulham 3-0 and J. Rodriguez scored 2 goals.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
I think he's mostly on the bench because Barnes and Wood start the Premier League
Exactly.
games.
So for someone to be ready to play and then score so J. Rodriguez it is. All right.
Okay.
Let's go for the next section, which is the games of this weekend. Are we back to Premier League or?
Yeah, have to be back to Premier League. But I think it's a very easy choice, this game, I think.
Wait, I know you. Again, I know what you would say, but
you know my answer already.
All I would say is don't choose for the midweek games. Choose for the weekend, right? So, what are the games to watch on the weekend? What's your pick?
Okay, so I would. I think this. Okay, for the weekend. Arsenal United is there.
Oh, dude.
So, and Ole has been his record against Arsenal, Arteta is very poor. I don't think he's even drawn a game, maybe one draw maybe, but otherwise Arteta has got the better of Ole all the time.
So what sort of statistics you read? They played 2 times against each other. You're saying record isn't very good. If you played at least 10-12, then there's some statistics to fall back on.
No. So first, one thing which I'm talking about is Ole's record against Arsenal.
Acha, okay.
So I don't think he has won against Arsenal. I think he's lost every time. Maybe one draw here and there, but. And I think Arteta has beaten Ole all the times. There's not been I think even Emery defeated Ole.
So what is going to happen in the game? You have Pogba firing, Bruno firing, Cavani marauding. The only thing that drags down the team is Martial. But even that's not stopping this juggernaut.
Yeah, because I think so. We've got a game midweek against Sheffield. So I think against Sheffield, Martial will start. And against Arsenal, I think Cavani will be back. So it should be fine. So what I would say is if we get 3 points against Sheffield, we'll defeat Arsenal as well.
Acha. So what's
momentum?
Oh God, we are using the M word right now.
Yes.
All right, my game of the week. I don't know. There's Brighton, Tottenham, and Leicester Leeds. Oh, how I would see my man Brendan beat Grant Frodder. But
the reverse fixture was just amazing football match.
Yeah,
the reverse fixture.
It was a great match.
I mean, it was a great match. I mean, Leeds were not playing up to their potential, but it was a great match nevertheless.
I know. So I mean, that's all we can hope for. I'm going to watch that. But my game for the weekend is a relegation 6-pointer: West Brom versus Fulham.
Oh, okay. Scott Parker has got some work to do.
I'm backing Scott Parker all the way to beat Big Sam, even though Big Sam has gotten high praise from Guardiola himself, right?
Yeah.
And he said, look at Big Sam, he gets the job done. And that is why he's one of the toughest teams or something, he said.
Yeah. And both these managers have managed to draw against Liverpool.
Yes. So, man, Scott Parker all the way. I'm going to go for a hard-fought 2-1 Fulham victory.
Okay. Interesting.
अबे interesting हो या ना हो, यही है. Scott Parker को जीतना है. I can't see Big Sam pull this off again. I thought.
Yeah, and more importantly, Saru, maybe the podcast would have been released by then. But midweek we have Brighton versus Fulham, which is a 17 versus 18 also.
Oh, really?
So Fulham are playing the team above them and below them on consecutive, within 4 days.
Yeah, there's an important 5 days for Fulham. And there is obviously Tottenham versus Liverpool, which I think the podcast is out on Thursday morning, and that's on Thursday evening, right? That game.
Correct.
Oh man, I get.
What's your prediction for that, Saru?
7-4 Tottenham.
No. But I'm pretty optimistic of a Tottenham win. I mean, last fixture, just somehow they got away with it, Liverpool.
I know. But
I think this time though.
Did you see Klopp's utterances after the losing the FA Cup to United? He said
some of them
we'll be ready.
Yeah, I read it. Yeah.
So now he's reduced to a manager who's after losing a game saying we'll be ready for the next one. Abhi agla wala dekh lena. Acha khelenge.
Yeah.
I don't know, but Liverpool are not that much fun anymore. Ho gaya unka, I think.
मतलब ठीक है, and of course, honestly, they have exceeded expectations this season, considering that Van Dijk has not been there.
It's not Van Dijk. I think more than Van Dijk, it's the form of Trent Alexander-Arnold. Oh, dude, he's playing like Marcus Alonso and Azpilicueta's son. Like he's playing that bad.
Okay.
Yeah. All right.
No, but I think Alexander-Arnold was just. I think it was just waiting to get exposed. I don't think he's still exposed defensively, but I don't think he's as good as a player he seemed to be in the previous 2 seasons. Like Robertson is good, even though Wan-Bissaka made him look like a fool on this midweek in that FA Cup match. But
Wan-Bissaka is used to making a lot of women look like fools. So
Scottish ones too.
Exactly. So what is this Robertson chump?
Yeah.
All right, Manav. It was nice talking to you.
Saru, yeah, Saru.
And take care. And let's hope all our dreams come true for the weekend. And Arsenal win against United.
Yes.
And Tuchel. And Tuchel just goes on winning. All right. Take care, Manav. Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.
All right. Bye, guys. Take care.
Want to learn something new and have a few minutes to spare? Well, then go for the Traveling Professor's Diary, where I, Siddharth Deshmukh, the Traveling Professor, will help you glean from all the insights that I've gained from wherever I've traveled, learnt, taught, and repeated. Join me every Tuesday and Thursday on the IVM Podcast website, app, or wherever you get your podcasts from.
जिंदगी डायरीज के पन्नों में कुछ पुरानी यादें, समुंदर किनारे झूमते दरख्त, जवान दिल की धड़कनें और अनजान मुलाकातें हैं। तो आइए खोलिए मेरे साथ जिंदगी डायरी के पन्ने और साथ ही खुलकर जीते हैं जिंदगी। आप सुन सकते हैं जिंदगी डायरीज IVM पॉडकास्ट ऐप या वेबसाइट पर, या जहां कहीं से भी आप अपने पॉडकास्ट सुनते हो।